Hello 12th standard students, welcome back to chapter 1, applications of matrices and determinants. Today we are going to go into the concept of row echelon form. What is row echelon form? Row. So the main concept here is our row. Okay. So we are going to use the elementary transformations in our row and we are going to reduce it to row echelon form. Okay. So what is the definition they have given here? Using the row elementary operations, we can transform a given non-zero matrix to a simplified form called the row echelon form. In a row echelon form, we may have rows all of whose matrices are zeros. Okay, such rows are called zero rows. So, for example, if you got A, a matrix. You have a matrix like this. Okay, now here they have mentioned 0 rows and a non-zero row. What is a non-zero row? Non-zero row means it should contain at least one element. Here this is a non-zero row. Row 1 is a non-zero row. Why? There is no zeros. What about the second row? This is also a non-zero row. Okay. Why? Because at least one of it has got an element. And the third row, it is a zero row. Why? All the elements are 0. So this is called the 0 row and the other two are called non-zero row. So a non-zero row should contain at least one element. If one element is present, it is called as a non-zero row. So it is going to be based on this non-zero row. Okay. So they have given a definition here. A non-zero matrix E is said to be in row echelon form. When you get the reduced form, all 0 rows of E occur below every non-zero row. So zeros, as far as zeros are concerned, suppose you have got a matrix like this. What is our first? All 0 rows of E below every non-zero row. So the 0 row, here the third row is our 0 row. It should be at the bottom of the matrix. That is the last row of the non-zero. All the non-zero row below the non-zero rows. This is our first condition. If the first non-zero element in any row I of E occurs in the jth column of E, then all the other entries in j column. Okay, this is very, very important. Now you leave the first column, you come to the second column. Here this is the first non-zero element, isn't it? So below that, all the elements should be 0. Suppose you get like this. So this is our first non-zero element. So below this is also 0, this is also 0. In the second row you see this is the first non-zero element, so this is also 0. So similarly, below every non-zero element, below a non-zero element in that particular row occurs, then that column of E, then all the other entries in the column below, it should be 0. This is very, very important point you have to remember. And the first non-zero entry in the ith row lies to the left of the first non-zero entry in the I plus jth row. Okay, this is first non-zero entry in the ith row. This is the first non-zero entry in the first row. Okay, lies, or in the second row, this is the first non-zero entry, lies in the first non-zero entry in the I plus 1th row, left of, or you can take it as the right of also. Okay, so see, now see, this is second row, isn't it? Non-zero. To the left only in the first row you have got your entry. Okay, in that way you can remember, or you can place it in the right hand side. Suppose first row you have got the first element, in the second row second element should be non-zero, and in the third row the third element should be the non-zero. Whichever is easy, you may remember this. Okay, so here is a note. A non-zero matrix is in a row echelon form if all 0 rows occur at the bottom rows of the matrix, and if the first non-zero element in any lower row occurs to the right of the first, this is what I expressed here, right of the first non-zero entry in the higher row. So these 2 points are very, very important, and if you know this one, you can easily attend your row echelon form. Okay, and I'll give you some more examples for a non-zero row which are not in row echelon form. That also you should know. Suppose you get 1, -2, 0, 0, 0, 5 and 0, 1, 0. Now this is it in echelon form. Here you got zeros below the first entry, but whereas in the second row, here you come to the last element is the non-zero element, and to the left of it there should not be an entry, there should be a 0, isn't it? So this is not in row echelon form. Okay. Or in other words, you can remember that in the row echelon form, you have got like this principal diagonal, isn't it? So below the principal diagonal, all the elements should be 0. So whichever matrix, may be a 3 cross 3 or a 3 cross 4 matrix, whatever it may be, we should choose the principal diagonal, that is A11, A22, A33. So below these elements should be 0. If it is 0, then it is in row echelon form. This is the simplest method to remember how to get our row echelon form. Okay, thank you.